In this video, I'm going to show you some tips that may have gotten glossed over in other help videos or lectures that I've done. I want to show you how to set up widgets. I want to show you how to add or change the header image that's in the 2010, 2011, or 2012 theme. I do want to give you some cautionary advice about themes that I don't know that I've elaborated upon, and then maybe just a couple of other random details. So let's start with widgets. Widgets are things that show up on your blog along one of the sidebars or along the bottom. You can see in my blog here I'm using that theme 2012, and along the right side are where all the widgets are going to show up. I customize so my widgets have recent posts, the categories that I'm using in my blog. I also am using tags, so I have both categories and tags that are going to start filling up here. People I follow, their links will show up here. And then I've put a follow me button so that you can click this and follow my blog easily. And then finally I put some of my most recent tweets with a follow button as well. Let me show you how I set this up. There's two ways. One, you hover over here and use the quick link to the widgets, or you go to the dashboard, expand appearance, and you'll see widgets there also. Here are the widgets, and you can see the ones I just showed you. I've dragged them over and placed them on my main sidebar. Now there is a home page area. I recommend you are careful about this one, and I'll talk about this more in themes later. In this particular theme, the main sidebar area worked really well on both my pages. Let me show you how I set up one of my widgets. Let me go back and find that Twitter one. So I select it. You can see that my mouse turned into the four-sided handles. Now I'm going to drag Twitter. I'm going to drop it right into that area called main sidebar. I'm going to customize the title. I'm going to put in my Twitter username so it knows who to follow. I think I'll have a max of 3 posts, and I don't want any of the replies. At this point, when I press save, it will add this widget. I'll contract it so that I have more space. Then you can see all the widgets I have. If you have widgets that you don't want to use, for example, I might take out the blogs I follow. You simply expand it, delete it, and then when you revisit your blog, you'll see the widgets as they're set up. So now the blogs I follow is gone, and I only have 3 of my most recent tweets. Play with widgets. Later when I talk about themes, you'll see how widgets and themes work together, and if you change themes, you'll find that the widgets work differently, and in some places there may be a widget area along the bottom. Sometimes there's a widget area to the left. Sometimes there's multiple widget areas, as in this. So I've showed you this theme 2012, and you're going to have to take it from there with the widgets you like to use. I do want to end with one thing. If you ever want to use embed code, this widget right here, text, that says arbitrary text or HTML, let me just show you because this is really helpful. This will allow you to take embed code and paste it in this area. It works for me like 75% of the time. It sometimes depends on what the code is, but in general, as you go through this course, you're going to be using different tools that have embed code, and sometimes you'll want those to show up as a widget on your blog. So know that it's there. It's the one entitled text, and you can paste the embed code in it. Alright, that's my lowdown on widgets. Next, let's work with adding a header image. If you have 2010 or 2011 chosen as your theme, I believe you have a couple of header images that you can choose from. 2012, you have to find your own header image. We had started by going to this area when you set the blog up and looking at the header image here, but when I tried to show you how to use it from this customize area, it didn't upload the image in the right place. So let me show you how you can do that to add an image that shows up on every page of your blog. Instead of using this menu, you're going to want to go to the dashboard. From the dashboard, you're going to want to go to Appearance, and then from that submenu, you'll see Header. This is where you can select an image by choosing a file, or if you've already added images to your media library for your blog account, you can choose one that's in there. When you choose a file, it will take you to the different places and you can browse to places where you have images. You'll select a file. I picked a new picture of Phoebe and her best friend Lily, and I'm going to upload the file, and now it's going to add that file to my Blogger account. You can see the uploading is going on at the bottom of my screen. I've uploaded an image. I actually switched to one of the three of us. Now it's got the right dimensions, and if I keep these dimensions properly, then it will make the banner heading exactly in the right proportion. I'm going to hold the Shift key down, and you'll see it keeps the aspect ratio. I'm going to drag, kind of center Phoebe in there, and then I'm going to crop and publish the new header. Now headers always have to be cropped in some way so they fit right, and you'll see it's got some suggested width. And then as the images show up, I can choose to randomly show a different image on each page. I can go back to the blue moon one, or I can remove the header and start all over again. So I think I'll choose random, and then I save these changes. So I can go back and visit my site, and there we are now. When I go back and forth between the two pages, it just picks a new header. And you'll see that one is bigger when it picks it. So that's my take on header images. I'd like to give you some cautionary advice now about themes. It's hard not to look through the themes and see some things you'd really like to use instead of the plain 2012 that we have in this video. Let me just give you permission to do whatever you want, but give you some caution. Now I need to go back down to Appearance from my dashboard, and now I'm going to go to Themes here. There are so many themes available. Many of them are free, and all of them are created by people in the WordPress community. But I've shown you things like how widgets work. I've shown you how to set up a page about yourself, and I've stuck with things that are really, really simple to do. When you start applying new themes, there are different page settings. Some themes don't have widgets that are available in other themes, and in general, unless you are more of a confident user and you're willing to mess around with different elements of a blog and really play with things on the dashboard, I recommend you stick with the 2012, 2011, or 2010 theme for your first blog. If you want to play with a new one, remember you can always go to your My Blogs page, and at the bottom you can start a brand new blog, pick any theme and mess with it so that you don't apply it to your course blog and then lose things or just mess things up. Again, there are many, many themes to choose from. You can preview them, and these are all randomized. Now you'll notice that they have samples, but what tends to be true of every theme is that the font is already chosen for you, or the fonts that are available, and the way that widgets can be set up are already built in by the designer also. And then some of the custom spaces on the side cannot be altered very much. So you can go through, and when you get to the bottom here, whoa, actually it keeps adding. So right now you can just keep looking at all these different widgets, and it will definitely randomize what you see. and you can use these things to narrow down: newest, popular, premium, and so on. So feel free to use any widget you want. I recommend that you start a new blog and play around with the themes there before applying it to your official blog for the course. So this video was intended to show you a couple of different tips that I may not have included, how to set up widgets, how to get a header image, some cautionary advice about other themes, and then I said I'd do some random things I can think of. I've gotten to over 10 minutes, so I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to do another separate video that goes in detail about how pages are set up and how you can have your blog roll as your first page, or you could have the page about yourself as your first page, and how to get that set up. So look for that in a separate video.